Are you slowly killing yourself starting from breakfast? You might not know this, but even one seemingly healthy plate of fruit in the morning can silently destroy your sexual health, especially if you're over 60. Science has shown after middle age, men's bodies begin to experience a decline in testosterone, the key hormone responsible for maintaining vitality, desire, and confidence in men. Meanwhile, many people continue the habit of eating fruit in the morning as a symbol of healthy living. But few realize some fruits that seem healthy actually contain extremely high levels of natural sugar, which negatively affect hormones and blood vessels, directly reducing erectile function and male vitality. Why breakfast? Breakfast is when the body is most sensitive to blood sugar and hormones. When we consume a high amount of sugar from certain fruits, insulin, the hormone that regulates sugar, spikes. And when insulin spikes, testosterone drops. Day by day, your manhood is being eroded without you even realizing it. Think back for a moment. Have you noticed your desire decreasing lately? Have you found that it doesn't respond as quickly as it used to? Or are you starting to feel tired, less confident every morning? If so, it might just be those bananas, watermelons, or grapes you love that are part of the problem. But don't panic. The good news is you can change, starting by knowing the 10 fruits that are silently killing male sexual health after 60 if eaten in the morning. Know them to avoid them and know what smarter options to replace them with. In this video, I'll go over each fruit clearly, with evidence and healthy alternatives, not only to help you maintain your sexual health, but also to boost natural testosterone, increase energy, and regain your confidence. Don't look away, because number 6 will definitely surprise you. It's a fruit that 90% of Vietnamese people still eat daily, believing it's good, but in reality, it's a hormone assassin for middle-aged men. And that's not all. I'll also share a simple yet powerful breakfast combination to kickstart testosterone production early in the day, stabilize energy, reduce belly fat, and enhance vitality in just a few weeks. Comment "I need to know" if you want the full list along with the replacement meal plan. Now let's discover the 10 dangerous fruits to avoid eating for breakfast after 60 and how to protect your manly strength in a smart, scientific way. Brother, let me ask you honestly, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and noticed that your body is no longer as firm as it used to be? Your belly slightly sticking out, your shoulders not as square as in your 20s, and in your eyes the once bright fire seems to have dimmed? Many men who've come to me have shared that they no longer recognize themselves, not just because of crow's feet or gray hair, but because they feel like they're no longer truly men. That feeling isn't something everyone dares to say out loud, but I understand it very clearly because I've heard hundreds of similar stories. And the most surprising thing I've told them, the thing I want to share with you today, is this. Maybe everything started from breakfast with a plate of seemingly harmless fruit. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Fruit, the symbol of clean eating, healthy living, full of vitamins and fiber. How could it possibly be the thing that destroys a man's strength? But that's exactly the trap many fall into. Because for a man over 60, the endocrine system is no longer what it used to be. Testosterone, the core hormone of male vitality, naturally begins to decline. And the scary part is, this decline is silent, subtle, but powerful enough to completely change a man's life. You might notice it through small signs: lower desire, trouble getting or maintaining an erection, fatigue, lack of energy, random irritability, poor sleep. All of this stems from declining testosterone. And when it drops to a dangerous level, not only your sex life, but your entire quality of life is severely affected. Muscle mass fades, belly fat accumulates, memory worsens, willpower weakens. And the ironic thing is, some seemingly healthy habits unintentionally speed up that decline. And eating fruit in the morning is a prime example. After a long night, your body is in a fasted state, more sensitive than ever to sugar intake. If you start the day with high glycemic fruits, like bananas, watermelon, grapes, mangoes, your blood sugar will spike, triggering a strong release of insulin to balance it out. And insulin, The hormone we often hear about in diabetes is actually a hidden enemy of testosterone. When insulin rises, testosterone falls. It's a natural mechanism, but extremely dangerous for middle-aged men. Not to mention, sweet fruits often contain fructose, a type of sugar the liver must process. After age 60, the liver no longer works as efficiently as before. Forcing it to constantly handle fructose early in the morning hinders testosterone production there. That's why I once treated a patient, Mr. Tuan, 62, from Dong Nai, whose free testosterone levels were alarmingly low, despite regular exercise. No smoking, no alcohol. Only when he stopped drinking fruit smoothies every morning and switched to a breakfast rich in protein and healthy fats. Within just 6 weeks, his hormone levels improved noticeably. He said, "I didn't just feel physically stronger, I felt like I became a real man again." I'm not sharing this to scare you, but to help you realize that after 60, your body needs to be understood and cared for the right way. Fruit isn't bad, but if eaten at the wrong time or the wrong kind, even the healthiest fruit can become harmful. You can still eat fruit, just don't eat it on an empty stomach. Have it after your main breakfast, choose fruits low in sugar and with a low glycemic index like strawberries, blueberries, or kiwi. And most importantly, start your day with what testosterone needs: healthy fats, protein, greens, and determination. As a doctor, I don't just want you to live long, I want you to live with quality. It's not aging means weakness, but rather aging means living smarter and stronger. And that journey starts with something small: breakfast. Breakfast doesn't just fuel the body, it fuels your inner fire as a man. Don't let those seemingly healthy fruits steal the most precious thing you have: your strength, your initiative, and your male pride. You know, among the hundreds of men I've met and advised, many of them start their mornings with a banana or a cool slice of watermelon. They believe it's a healthy choice, good for digestion, light on the stomach, and provides quick energy. And that's true. If you're 25, have a robust endocrine system and a liver working like a brand new machine. But if you're over 60, that seemingly harmless habit could silently strip away your strength as a man each day without you even realizing it. 1. Bananas. The sweet-faced saboteur. Bananas have long been considered a convenient fruit, rich in potassium, vitamin B6, and known to support digestion. But have you noticed that bananas are sweet? And that's the key point. Ripe bananas, especially the common Cavendish variety, contain quite a bit of sugar and have a medium to high glycemic index, GI. When you eat a banana first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, its sugars are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing a spike in insulin. And as I shared earlier, when insulin spikes, testosterone drops. Testosterone production depends on stable blood sugar levels. Each time insulin surges, that process is suppressed. Not to mention, bananas contain natural serotonin, the feel-good chemical that can make you feel relaxed or even a bit sleepy. That may rob you of the alertness and drive you need to start the day strong. Some studies also suggest that regularly eating bananas in the morning can condition the body to release insulin too early, disrupting metabolic balance, leading to fatigue, weight control issues, and diminished sexual function over time. I once met a friend, let's call him Mr. Min, 61 years old, a retired engineer who had a habit of eating 2 bananas every morning with a glass of milk. He said it was a healthy combo he saw recommended in many forms, yet he often complained of low interest in his wife, frequent irritability, and feeling drained every morning. After testing, his free testosterone level was down 45% compared to the average for his age. We made just one small change: remove bananas from breakfast and replace them with a meal rich in protein and healthy fats. 3 months later, he called me and said, "I feel alive again, more inspired, more energetic, and most importantly, my wife noticed the difference." 2. Watermelon. Refreshing but harmful. Nothing beats a cold slice of watermelon on a summer morning. Everyone agrees on that. But watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes among popular fruits. Its GI can reach about 76, meaning it spikes blood sugar very quickly after consumption. For men over 60, this is a sweet shock to the endocrine system. Your body at this stage can no longer handle sugar as efficiently as before. Eating watermelon on an empty stomach causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, triggering a strong insulin release to manage it. The result is testosterone being suppressed right from the start of the day. It doesn't stop there. The sudden insulin increase can make you feel tired, hungry sooner, and trigger sugar cravings throughout the day, which can lead to poor eating patterns. Ironically, many people eat watermelon because they believe it contains citrulline, a compound that helps dilate blood vessels and is believed to benefit sexual health. But citrulline is mostly found in the white rind, which almost no one eats. Meanwhile, the sweet red flesh you do eat is loaded with sugar and provides almost no benefit to sexual health, especially if eaten at the wrong time. I had another patient, Mr. High, 65, who used to drink watermelon juice every morning as a breakfast replacement, thinking it detoxed the liver and cooled the body. But after 2 years, he developed mild diabetes, high blood lipids, fatty liver, and his married life went completely cold. After cutting out watermelon juice in the morning and replacing it with a protein-rich breakfast, plenty of greens, and a handful of nutritious seeds, his health significantly improved, blood sugar stabilized, testosterone levels slightly increased, and he lit up with joy saying, "I could love again after 10 years. 3. Grapes. Small but dangerous. If you've ever snacked on a few grapes in the morning, thinking they're light, full of antioxidants, you're not alone. But did you know that grapes, despite their small size, contain some of the highest natural sugar content among common fruits? Especially sweet grapes and seedless varieties, often bred for direct consumption, have more sugar than oranges or even bananas. When you eat grapes on an empty stomach, the fructose is absorbed very quickly, causing a sudden insulin spike, followed by the usual chain reaction. Testosterone drops, energy crashes, sexual function weakens. And the unfortunate part is, grapes don't make you feel full, which means you're likely to overeat and repeat the habit daily without realizing the risk. I once had a patient named Hoa, 58, a businessman who was meticulous about his diet. He avoided sugar, fats, ate clean, went to the gym regularly, yet still felt his vitality fading, struggled with insomnia, and lost emotional connection with his wife. The reason? He replaced his breakfast with a full bowl of grapes every day. Once he dropped that habit and replaced it with a protein-rich breakfast with eggs, greens, and cashews. Just 4 weeks later, he told me, "I feel sharper, more alive, and the nights aren't cold anymore." 4. Mangoes, the king of fruit, but also the king of sugar. Ripe mangoes, fragrant, sweet, soft, and colorful, are nearly irresistible to many. But if you're over 60, I sincerely advise you, don't eat mangoes on an empty stomach in the morning. Mangoes are packed with sugar, and that sugar gets absorbed rapidly into your bloodstream when your stomach is empty. This causes a sharp blood sugar spike, and as you already know, when blood sugar goes up, testosterone goes down. Additionally, mangoes contain small amounts of naturally occurring allergens that may affect people with sensitive systems, further stressing the immune system and indirectly interfering with hormone function. I once treated a 64-year-old truck driver who ate half a mango every morning before hitting the road. He often felt fatigued by mid-morning, experienced blurred vision, and had trouble focusing. After changing his breakfast, removing mangoes and replacing them with oatmeal, boiled eggs, and leafy greens, within just a few weeks, he told me he felt like himself again. You see, not all fruit is automatically healthy, and early morning is not always the best time to eat it. Your body now needs smarter, more thoughtful choices. Don't trade your lifelong strength and vitality for a few slices of grapes or a sweet piece of mango. We don't fear aging, but let's age with strength, clarity, and full control. 5. Pineapple. Sweet and sour, but a direct hit to the liver. I know many people enjoy eating pineapple in the morning for its gentle tartness, appetite stimulation, and digestive benefits. But did you know that pineapple, especially when fully ripe, contains a high amount of both sugar and acid, posing a major challenge to your liver at the start of the day? After age 60, Your liver isn't as strong as it once was, and if you keep overworking it every morning, the consequences won't be small. Pineapple is loaded with fructose, a type of sugar that only the liver can process. When eaten on an empty stomach, the sugar from pineapple goes straight to the liver, forcing it to work overtime. Meanwhile, the liver is also where testosterone, the key male hormone, is produced. When the liver is busy handling sugar, it gets distracted from its hormone-producing role. The result? Testosterone gradually drops over time without you even realizing it. I had a patient, Mr. Vin, 67, from Long An, who loved pineapple, dipping it in chili salt and eating it every morning. He said it helped digestion, cooled his liver, and prevented bloating. But after nearly a year, his liver enzyme levels rose, testosterone dropped, and he began experiencing erectile dysfunction. After removing pineapple and switching to a breakfast rich in protein and greens, his hormone health noticeably improved. He said, "Now that I'm eating right, my liver feels lighter, and so do I." 6. Red apples. Red delicious. Sweet but deceptive. It might sound strange since apples are often seen as a symbol of health, but not all apples are created equal. Sweet red apples, especially the common American red delicious, contain more sugar than green or tart apples. And that becomes an issue if you eat them in the morning on an empty stomach. You see, their shiny skin and pleasant sweetness can easily make people forget that this fruit has a medium to high glycemic index and is packed with fructose. For people over 60 with sensitive hormonal systems, just one red apple can cause a noticeable blood sugar shake, which suppresses testosterone and leads to lingering fatigue throughout the morning. An old friend of mine, Mr. Tho, 70, used to swear by his routine of an apple a day for heart health. But heart health aside, he'd recently been struggling with insomnia, anxiety, and a general sense of fading strength. After switching to green apples eaten after his main breakfast and adding some olive oil and flax seeds to his morning meal, within 2 months, he said, "I feel revived, less worried, and more interested at night." As you can see, even small things like a slice of pineapple or a sweet apple can silently impact your hormones, mood, and masculinity. After 60, I don't want you to suffer through harsh diets. I just want you to eat smart, because strength doesn't come from luck. It comes from the choices you make every single day. 7. Sweet oranges, sweet tangerines. Seem healthy, but a sweet trap. I know many people have the habit of drinking a glass of orange juice or eating a few tangerine slices in the morning. Some TV programs even praise orange juice as liquid gold to kickstart the day. But the truth is, for those over 60, that's not entirely accurate. In fact, it can be harmful if you don't fully understand it. Sweet oranges and tangerines contain a fairly high amount of sugar, especially those grown for fresh eating and fully ripened. When consumed on an empty stomach, the sugars are absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream, yet another shock to insulin. Remember, testosterone always takes a hit when insulin spikes, so drinking orange juice or eating sweet tangerines in the morning is essentially suffocating your sex hormones right from the start of the day. Not to mention, orange juice, especially bottled or packaged, is even more dangerous due to its concentrated sugar content and lack of fiber to slow absorption. I once met a man, Mr. Hung, 60, who drank orange juice every morning to stay slim and keep his skin glowing. But in reality, he constantly felt drowsy mid-morning, struggled to concentrate, and began experiencing a decline in desire. When he replaced orange juice with warm water mixed with fresh lemon and a protein-rich breakfast, within a few weeks, he felt mentally sharper and his sexual health improved. 8. Overripe pears. Sweet but sugar-laden pears, soft, juicy, gently sweet, are a favorite for many seniors because they're easy to chew, soothing for the throat, and refreshing. But the riper and sweeter a pear is, the higher its natural sugar content. And for a tired hormonal system after age 60, this is far from ideal to start your day. Ripe pears not only contain sugar, but lack protein or healthy fats to help balance it. Eating pears first thing in the morning is like injecting sugar straight into your bloodstream without breaks. This rapidly raises blood sugar, triggers a strong insulin response and suppresses the adrenal glands, which helps support testosterone production. Over time, day after day, testosterone gets suppressed and your vitality gradually fades. I once worked with a regular visitor, Mr. Kwong, 66, who ate half a pear every morning after waking up, then headed out to exercise. He thought it helped cool the body before working out. But the more he exercised, the weaker he felt, often short of breath, and at night he felt emotionally distant from his wife. When I helped him adjust his habits, no more pears first thing, and increasing good fats and protein in his breakfast, just over a month later, he returned to the clinic with a big smile. Now I train with more energy, and nights are much better too, doctor. You see, something as innocent as an orange, a tangerine, or a pear can quietly chip away at your masculinity. After 60, what you need isn't the most delicious option, but the one that fuels your lasting strength. Don't make the wrong choice, because your health doesn't always give you a second chance. 9. Durian, aromatic but a sugar and fat bomb. I know there are those who, when durian season comes around, simply can't resist its rich fragrance and creamy sugary flesh. But my friend, if you're over 60, having durian in the morning might be one of the worst choices for your sexual health. Durian isn't just high in sugar, it also contains a significant amount of saturated fat, a combination that puts your liver, pancreas, and hormonal system under serious stress right at the start of the day. When you eat durian on an empty stomach, your body is thrown into emergency mode, scrambling to handle both sugar and fat at once. The liver works overtime, the pancreas pumps out insulin, and testosterone, as always, gets pushed aside in the chaos. I had a patient, Mr. Hung, 68, who jokingly called durian the fruit of pleasure. Yet he suffered from lipid disorders, fatty liver, and testosterone levels so low that he'd lost all intimacy with his wife. When he cut durian from his breakfast and adjusted his meals just 2 months later, he returned to my office full of energy and said, "Now I know what real pleasure feels like. Being healthy, doctor." I'm not saying durian is all bad, but at this age it's crucial to choose the right time to enjoy it. Eat it after a full meal in very small portions and not too often. A man's strength is built on choices like these, small but powerful enough to shape a whole life. 10. Jackfruit, intense sweetness, subtle heat, and silent energy. Drain if durian is the king of rich and fatty fruit, jackfruit isn't far behind. It's fragrant, chewy, and sweet to the point of being almost overpowering, especially when eaten on an empty stomach. Jackfruit is extremely high in sugar, and when you only eat the flesh without fiber, it causes a rapid spike in blood sugar. This leads to a sharp insulin response, which once again drives testosterone levels down shortly after. Many people think jackfruit is heady in terms of digestion, but the reality is that eating it early in the day, when your body is most sensitive, can trigger low-grade inflammation. This weakens your endocrine system and disrupts hormone production. I had a patient, Mr. Loy, 63, who loved ripe jackfruit and used to eat a few pieces every morning, followed by plain water. Over time, he began feeling tired, had trouble sleeping, experienced internal heat, and most notably, said he felt no spark when close to his wife. Once he stopped eating jackfruit in the morning and switched to a breakfast of eggs, steamed vegetables, and a little avocado, he told me, "I never thought such a simple change could bring my strength back. I feel years younger." You see, fruit isn't inherently bad, but eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong way, even the healthiest fruit can become harmful. Every small decision you make in the morning is like a brick. It either builds your health or tears it down. And if you've been feeling sluggish, low energy, or disconnected from intimacy, take a look at your breakfast. It might just be that a few pieces of jackfruit or that fragrant durian are quietly robbing you of what matters most: your strength, your presence, and your true quality of life as a man. So you and I have just gone through a list of 10 fruits that seem harmless, even hailed as natural superfoods, yet can quietly kill your testosterone every morning. I'm not saying you have to completely cut them out of your life, But if you're stepping into your 60s or already on the other side of midlife, knowing what to eat, when, and how much isn't just a matter of nutrition. It's part of the journey to preserve your masculinity. As you've seen, not all fruits are bad, but eaten at the wrong time, they become hidden enemies. And in the morning, when your body has just woken up, hormones are recalibrating, your liver isn't fully active, and your testosterone needs protection, that's when you need to avoid sugar, avoid insulin spikes, and avoid blood sugar shocks. Now you might be asking, so what should I eat? When should I eat it? And is there any fruit I can still enjoy without harming my hormone health? Let me be clear, straightforward, and easy to remember. You don't have to cut fruit, you just have to control it. Golden rule number 1, avoid high GI fruits in the morning fruits with a high glycemic index. Bananas, watermelon, grapes, mangoes, sweet oranges, durian, jackfruit. If eaten first thing in the morning, will spike insulin and suppress testosterone. So if you want to enjoy them, have them after a main meal or around midday. When your body's more stable, your liver is ready to process sugar and testosterone is no longer as vulnerable as it is in the early hours. Golden rule number 2, eat low GI, high fiber fruits. After breakfast, fruits that are low in sugar, high in fiber, and have a low glycemic index include strawberries, blueberries, pomegranate, kiwi, pink grapefruit in moderation. These don't spike insulin, are rich in antioxidants, and can support blood circulation, a key factor for erectile function and heart health. If you want to eat fruit every day, have it 30 to 60 minutes after a solid breakfast, or as a light dessert at lunch, not on an empty stomach. Golden rule number 3, breakfast, let it work for testosterone. Morning is the golden hour to activate hormones, not destroy them. The ideal breakfast for men over 60 isn't a glass of juice or a few sweet fruit slices. It should include 1 to 2 boiled or fried eggs, loaded with good cholesterol, a raw material for testosterone production, a bit of avocado or extra virgin olive oil, steamed greens, cucumber, tomatoes, a handful of nuts like walnuts, flax seeds, or cashews, rich in zinc and magnesium, testosterone boosters, warm water with a splash of lemon, avoid strong coffee or sugar first thing. With a breakfast like this, you won't just preserve testosterone, you'll maintain steady energy all day, reduce belly fat, boost memory, and restore vitality. I know you can change, and you'll see the difference. I've seen so many men like you, strong their whole lives, silently enduring internal decline, simply because no one ever told them that every morning the things they thought were healthy were actually weakening them day by day. But now you know. You know that testosterone isn't lost because of age. It's lost because of habits. And you can absolutely reverse the trend, starting with the smallest change, choosing the right fruit at the right time, in the right amount. Remember, after 60, you're not just living for yourself. You live for your wife, your children, and those who look to you as a man who won't be defeated by time. You may not grow younger, but you absolutely can grow stronger. And I believe that starting tomorrow, your breakfast will be different. It will be the beginning of a man who takes charge of his body, his hormones, and his life.